Are there any candidates available?
It's an affinity to empower. It empowers Indians to share happiness within seconds.
Please reply.
एक बात बताइए आप,
Yes, we are available.
या फिर किसी पूरे शहर में कुछ अच्छा हो या फिर कोई बड़ी खुशखबरी आती है।
So, for the first question for today is the sacroiliac joint is what type of joint? The options are A. Condylite joint, B. Synovial joint, C. Secondary cartilaginous joint, and D. Fibrous joint.
Synovial joint.
Please be loud.
Synovial joint.
Yes, it's correct. Synovial joint. And what type of joint is pubic symphysis?
It is secondary cartilaginous.
Yes. Please be loud, Dr. Afroz. You are not audible.
Cartilaginous joint is pubic symphysis.
Hello, I am audible.
Yes, yes.
So the answer of the first question is synovial joint. So as we have already told that the sacroiliac joint is a synovial joint and pubic symphysis is a secondary cartilaginous joint. The next question is what is the anterior boundary of pelvic outlet? Wait for few minutes. What is the anterior boundary of pelvic outlet? The options are A. Pubic arch, B. Ischial tuberosity, C. Pubic crest, and D. Pubic tubercle.
Pubic arch.
Yes, it's correct. So, can you tell what are the other boundaries of pelvic outlet?
Anteriorly is the pubic arch, and posteriorly is the coccyx, and posterolaterally is inferior border of sacrotuberous, and laterally is ischial tuberosity.
Yes. So this is the explanation of the answer. That is the answer. Correct option is pubic arch, and the pelvic outlet boundaries are anteriorly is pubic arch, laterally is ischial tuberosity, as you can see in this diagram. Posterolaterally is inferior margin of sacrotuberous ligament, and posteriorly is the tip of the coccyx. Is there any doubt? Can we go to further questions? Are there any doubt in this question?
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Afroz, is there
Yes,
any
ma'am.
doubt in the question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question is which cell type of the testes secrete inhibin? The options are option A epithelial cell, B germ cell, C Sertoli cells, D Leydig cells, and E is Maillard cells.
Sertoli cell.
Yes, so the inhibin is secreted by Sertoli cells, and LS cells secrete what?
Testosterone.
Yes, it's correct. So the explanation is the answer is Sertoli cell. So you can remember that L for LH and L for Leydig cells. So Leydig cells secrete testosterone and they have LH receptor, while the Sertoli cells secrete inhibin and they form the blood testis barrier that have the FSH receptor. Can you tell me what is the blood supply of the testes?
Blood supply of the testes is testicular artery, which is a direct branch of the abdominal aorta. Other is cremasteric artery, and third is artery to vas deferens, artery of vas deferens.
Yes, it's correct. And what is the venous drainage?
Testicular is a para-aortic node.
Sorry, I don't hear the answer.
For testes, it is a para-aortic node.
Yes, para-aortic group of lymph node. And if there is any
Yes.
and do you know any of the pathological abnormalities of testes? That if the vein get distorted or tortured, then what will happen?
Uh, mm, Enlargement of varicocele or
Yes, it's varicocele that will happen.
yes, yes.
The next question is the uterine vein drains where? Internal iliac vein. Options are internal iliac vein, B is the splenic vein, C renal vein, and D inferior vena cava. E is the hepatic portal vein.
Internal iliac vein.
Yes, and the ovary drain into which vein?
Ovary drain, right ovary drain into the IVC, and left ovary drain into the left renal vein.
Yes. So this is a table that you have to mug up. That vagina, in vagina it is vagina venous plexus that will drain into hypogastric vein. Fallopian tube will drain into uterine and ovarian vein. Cervix will drain into hepatic uterine vein. Small bowel will drain into hepatic portal vein and superior mesenteric vein, and then they will drain into liver. Large bowel will drain into inferior and superior mesenteric veins, and ultimately they will drain into splenic vein and hepatic portal vein. Kidney,
Yes.
initially it is in the renal vein, and then it will drain into inferior vena cava. Ureter will drain into renal veins and superior and inferior vesical veins, and will drain into IVC. Bladder will drain into vesical venous plexus that will drain to internal iliac. Stomach will drain into gastric vein, gastroepiploic vein, and short gastric vein. That will drain into splenic and superior mesenteric vein. Spleen will initially drain into splenic vein, and that will finally ultimately drain into hepatic portal vein. So it is very important you have to mug up this table. Okay, so next question is you are asked to assess a patient perineal tear following labor by vaginal delivery. You note a laceration that extends through the vaginal mucosa into the perineal muscle and fascia. The external anal sphincter appears to be intact. How would you classify this tear? The options are
This
A.
is a
It is a yes,
second degree tear.
yeah. So do you know any of the gradings of perineal tear?
Yes.
So grade one is
Uh, Grade 1 is involving only the mucosa, and
yes,
grade 2 में muscles also involved, and in grade 3 there are three type A, B, C. In A, that is less than 50% external anal sphincter, in B more than 50% external anal sphincter, and in 3 both internal and external anal sphincter, and grade 4 is up to the rectal mucosa.
yes, the answer is correct. So this is the grading system. That is first is up to the superficial perineal skin. That is only the vaginal mucosa is involved. Second, in perineal muscle and fascia is involved, but anal sphincter is not involved. In third degree, it is divided into three. 3A is the partial tear anal sphincter that is less than 50% thickness. 3B is more than 50% thickness, and 3C is internal sphincter is torn, and fourth is the rectal mucosa is also involved. So this is very important. You have to mug up this table. Okay, so the next question is on femoral triangle. The femoral triangle is bounded medially by which of the following structures? The options are A is the inguinal ligament, B is the inguinal canal, C is adductor longus muscle, D is adductor brevis muscle, and E is sartorius muscle.
uh, Femoral triangle bounded medially by the adductor longus muscle.
Yes, so can you also tell the other boundaries of femoral triangle?
Yes, medially is the adductor longus, and laterally is the sartorius, and
But with
base
border, middle border or
medial
lateral
medial
border?
medial border of sartorius, and uh, that superiorly it is apex is by the both adductor longus and sartorius, and that base is by the inguinal ligament.
And what are the contents of femoral triangle?
It is medial to lateral is vein, femoral artery, and femoral nerve, and
And what are
femoral
the
sheet
contents
also.
of what are the contents of femoral sheath?
Femoral sheet is vein, artery, and lymph node, not nerve.
Yes. So in which compartment are the artery, nerve, and the lymph nodes? You have to remember.
Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen the lecture that I have already told that it is divided into three compartments: medial, intermediate, and lateral compartments. So medially, what structure is there in femoral shield?
Uh, Sorry, ma'am. I can't hear you properly.
I am telling that in have you listened to the lecture that I have made? I have told that in
Huh.
femoral sheath there are three compartments: medially, laterally, and intermediate compartment. So medially, what structure will be there in the femoral sheath?
Medially will be the vein, then artery, and most lateral is the lymph node.
Okay, okay, yes, it's correct. So the boundaries of femoral triangle, as you can see in this diagram, is a triangular depression that is situated just below the inguinal ligament. And can you tell me what is and inguinal ligament is continuation of which muscle?
It is the external oblique aponeurosis.
Yes, it's good. Good. Yes, it's a very good. It's a continuation of external oblique muscle aponeurosis. So this is the triangular depression. Medial it is formed by medial border of adductor longus muscle. Laterally it is formed by medial border of sartorius muscle. Apex is formed by joining point of both the muscle, that is sartorius and adductor longus muscle, and base is formed by the inguinal ligament. And three contents are there from medial to lateral. One is femoral vein, artery, and nerve. And femoral sheath contains a vein and artery but not nerve. So you have to remember. The next question is the inguinal canal is reinforced posteriorly by which structure? The options are A. Conjoint tendon, B is the inguinal ligament, C is external oblique aponeurosis, D is internal oblique fibers, and E is lacunar ligament.
Answer is conjoint tendon.
Yes, so can you also tell other boundaries that anteriorly what structure is there?
Uh, Inguinal canal anteriorly is the external oblique aponeurosis.
Yes, posteriorly is conjoint tendon, laterally,
Huh. Uh, Laterally is the inguinal ligament.
okay, and medially,
Medially is by the transverse abdominis fascia.
yes, it's correct. So okay, so what's the other name of conjoint tendon? Can you tell me?
Falx inguinal.
Yes, I've already shown you the explanation. The conjoint tendon, which is also known as inguinal falx, that reinforces the posterior wall of the inguinal canal. The inguinal and lacunar ligaments that will form the floor. The aponeurosis of the external oblique is the major component of the anterior wall, with the fibers of internal oblique that is reinforcing the lateral part. So I hope that this question is understood and explanation also.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question is which of the following is the innermost layer of the testes? Options are A. Cremasteric fascia, B. Is tunica vasculosa, C. Is tunica albuginea, D. Is tunica vaginalis visceral, and E. Is tunica vaginalis parietal.
Vascularis fascia. Tunica
Which
vascularis
answer?
is the in. Tunica vascularis is the innermost.
Yes, tunica vasculosa is the innermost. So can you tell me outermost layer is known as?
Tunica vaginalis.
And in between is the
uh, Tunica vaginalis, and then Tunica albuginea is also there,
yes. So
and it,
from outer, this is the a diagram that I have shown in this explanation that tunica vaginalis is the outermost layer, then tunica albuginea is the middle layer, and tunica vasculosa is the innermost layer. Next question is the arcuate line form part of the border of the pelvic brim. Where is it located? In which part of the hip bone? So the options are A. Ilium, B. Sacrum, C. Pubis, D. Ischium, and E. Coccyx.
it is ileum.
Yeah, so what is an arcuate line? Do you know about an arcuate line?
It is a rounded border on the ileum. Uh,
So is there any importance of arcuate line? Why we study this arcuate line?
Arcuate line, it formed the
Okay, so I tell you the explanation. Arcuate means bow shape. So like a
yes.
bow in which we that is a bow shape, and there are different arcuate lines in anatomical terms. Regarding the pelvic brim, this is composed of arcuate line of the ilium, pectineal lines, and prominence of the sacrum and pubic symphysis. So this is the diagram, and this the red structure that is highlighting is the arcuate line. Okay, as can be seen, the arcuate line is a smooth rounded border on the internal surface of the ileum inferior to the iliac fossa and iliacus. This is the in the next diagram also we can see this arcuate line. Okay. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question is the femoral triangle contain all of the following structure except which one? The options are deep inguinal lymph node, saphenofemoral junction, femoral sheath, and femoral nerve. And the E is genital branch of genitofemoral nerve.
The answer is genital branch of genitofemoral nerve.
Oh, yes, it's correct. It contains all of the above structure, but not the genital branch of genitofemoral nerve. So the contents of femoral triangle are femoral nerve and terminal branches, femoral sheath, femoral artery and branches, femoral vein and its proximal tubularity, that is the saphenofemoral junction, and deep inguinal lymph nodes and lymphatic vessel, but not the genital branches, genitofemoral nerve. The next question is which of the following muscles contained within the superficial perineal pouch? So the options are A are external sphincter muscle of urethra, B is deep transfer perineal muscle, C is compressor urethral muscle, D is urethrovagina sphincter, and E is
Ma'am,
ichthyocavernous muscle.
I'm unable to see the screen.
The screen is not visible to
Yes.
you.
Yes. Okay, okay. Now I can see which of the following muscle is contained
Okay.
within the super.
Might be your net
Uh,
is not working.
um,
Now it is visible.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question is which of the following muscle is contained within the superficial perineal pouch? The options are A is the external sphincter muscle of urethra, B is the deep transfer perineal muscle, C is the compressor urethral muscle, D is the urethrovaginal sphincter, and E is the ischio-cavernous muscle.
The answer will be ischio-cavernous.
Yes, the answer is ischio-cavernous muscle. So, have you read the pelvis part or you have not read the pelvis part?
No, I have read, but I was little bit confused between superficial and deep perineal pouch. So,
Okay, so you can see in this diagram that this is the superficial perineal pouch muscle diagram. The superficial perineal pouch contains are the three muscles you have to remember. Only three muscles are taking part. One is the ischio-cavernous muscle, bulbospongiostis muscle, and superficial transverse perineal muscle. You can see in this diagram. And the other that are taking part is the other structure that are taking part in the superficial perineal pouch are the crura of the penis in the male and clitoris in female, bulb of penis in males and vestibular bulbs in female and great vestibular glands in female. So this is the diagram. We will be taking the class very soon so you can understood in the class very well. But for this you have to remember this structure. The next question is the axial filament of the sperm tail has what type of arrangement of filament? A is 1 plus 5, B is 1 plus 7, C is 3 plus 5, D is 7 plus 5, and E 9 plus 2.
it is 9 plus 2,
Yes, correct
2 central
answer.
and 9 peripheral.
Yes, it's the correct answer. So this is the structure of the sperm. It has an acrosome. In center there is a nucleus. Acrosome is surrounded by a plasma membrane. Then there is a centriole, terminal disc, and these are the axial filament. And it has the axial filament of the sperm tail has 9 plus 2 arrangement that you have already told that 2 central nucleus and 9 are at the periphery. Longitudinal fibers are called beta fibers that are surrounded by a ring of 9 pairs of longitudinal fibers that are called the alpha fibers. This is a diagram that is illustrating the anatomy of the sperm. Okay, so next question is which of the following artery is a branch of internal iliac artery? Options are cystic, B is deep circumflex, C is femoral, D is ovarian, and E is uterine artery.
Uterine artery.
Yes, the uterine artery is a direct branch of internal iliac artery. And what an external iliac artery supply what structure? Can you tell me what are the branches of
Uh,
external iliac artery?
External iliac artery. It is sorry, iliolumbar artery and
Yes. See, you have to remember that uterine artery is a direct branch of internal iliac artery. There are
yes,
three: uterine, sacral, and one more is there that is the direct branch of internal iliac artery. While the external iliac artery supply all of the following structures like the stomach, gallbladder. All structures are supplied by external iliac artery. Okay. The uterine and vagina artery are branch from the internal iliac artery, while the ovarian artery is the direct branch from the aorta. So you have to remember that ovarian artery directly arises from the
yes,
aorta, and the uterine and vagina arteries are the branches from internal iliac artery. Yes, and external iliac
yes,
artery will supply. External iliac artery will continue below the thigh and will continue as femoral artery. So have you understood this question?
yes,
Hello.
yes, ma'am.
So have you understood this explanation, or I will again repeat?
No, ma'am, I understood.
Okay, so the next question is you are called to see a woman after a prolonged labor with failed instrumented delivery, converted to C-section. She is unable to dorsiflex her right foot and complains of pins and needle to the foot and lower leg. What is the likely diagnosis? So the options are right L5 nerve root compression, right S1 nerve root compression, right saphenous nerve root compression, right common peroneal nerve root compression, right superficial peroneal nerve root compression.
The answer is right common peroneal nerve root compression.
And what this condition is known as, there is a name of this
Foot
condition.
drop. It is foot
Yes.
drop.
So, so in foot drop, what is the abnormality that will happen? The
In
patient
foot
will
drop,
not unable to
unable to
dorsiflex
dorsiflex
her
the foot.
dorsiflex and
And there is also loss of sensation on the lateral part.
yes. And if there is an femoral nerve palsy, then what will happen? What will patient will complain
Yes,
of?
in the actually the function of the femoral nerve is flexion of the hip and extension of the knee. So the function is lost,
So the
and
what complaint will patient will come to you?
patient is unable to climb the stairs,
Yes, and
uh, and, uh, and also the adduction of the foot is lost. Foot lost.
yes, yes, it's correct. The femoral nerve palsy that the patient will complain of pain in the mid thigh region.
Yes.
So the explanation of this answer question is that the patient has foot drop that is caused by compression of common peroneal nerve. So you have to remember that it is the superficial common peroneal nerve, not the deep part. That is the taking deep part is not taking part in foot drop, only the superficial part. So peroneal nerve palsy may cause a similar pattern of sensory loss, but innervation of the anterior compartment leg muscle is the deep peroneal nerve, so foot drop wouldn't occur. This is the last question for today. In the male urethra, which is the narrowest part? So options are prostatic urethra, B is membranous urethra, C is penile urethra, D is spongy urethra, and E is cavernous urethra.
It is a membranous urethra.
Yes, the answer is correct. There are three parts of the male urethra: prostatic, membranous, and spongy. Spongy part is also known as penile or cavernous part. It is most likely question will arise regarding the membranous part because it is the shortest and it contains the external urethral sphincter and bulbourethral gland that is drained into it. So can you tell me what is the dimension of urethra?
Urethra length in female is approximately 3.5 to 4 centimeters, and in male it is 20 centimeters.
Yes, it's correct. And there are three parts of male urethra. That is
Prostatic
prostatic,
membrane.
membranous, and spongy part. And what is the blood supply of urethra?
Blood supply of the urethra is from the vesical arteries,
Yes, and
and
vesical artery is a branch of which artery?
vesical artery is a branch of the uh, internal pubedendal artery.
Yes. And what are the pathologies in urethra that can occur?
Uh,
Hello?
path. Yes, ma'am. Uh, Pathologies of urethra.
Yes.
Mm, no, ma'am. I'm unable to understand.
If there is a stone in the kidney, then it can lodge in the urethra, so urethric stones can be there.
Okay, okay. And
Yes.
urethral diverticulum is also there.
Yes. So what is a urethral diverticulum? Do you know anything?
Uh, it is the infection of the um, some gland, so diverticulum occur. I've read that, but भूल गए actually.
Okay, we will discuss later in the class. So for now,
Okay.
today, this is the last question and last explanation. I hope the class is very helpful to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So this is the success formula, that you have to do hard work and you have to practice the questions. So there is a saying that success is a combination of hard work and strategy. So you have to read and to practice question for part 1 MRC. Then you will achieve your result in one attempt only.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
please join the course, that is MRCOJ Part 1 by Dr. Yasmin Sayyad. Please hurry up, and because the offer is for short period only. So uh, please join the group fast.
Yes.
So this is the contact number and this is the mail ID of the group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I hope you like the class for today. I hope you like the
Yes.
discussion.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, bye.